Hey you guys, it's your girl Zaahav again. Welcome back to my channel. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome. If this is your first time, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. Also turn on the notification bells so you can get more updates when I post a video. If you haven't already, follow me on my social media. They'll be somewhere on the screen. I know you guys are probably tired of this hair, but it's like 2 a.m. in the morning. I was trying to lay my other frontal. It was just not laying. It was, you know, it was going its own way, and I'm like, okay, you know what, here's some change, go. Now in today's video, I'm gonna be giving you tips and tricks on how to travel cheap. This is the first in a series that I'm going to be posting. Now, I'm not a travel blogger or whatever, but I do travel more often than most. And this is not to brag or anything. I'm basically going to be posting things that will help you save money. Essentially, how to travel cheap, how to shop cheap, how to shop and get discounts. That's not what we're going to be all about, but I want to do something that's beneficial to you. You know, things that'll help you save some coins, boo. So stay tuned and keep watching. I wrote a whole, it's a lengthy video essentially because I wrote it down. I've never written down my videos in detail like this before. I always know what I want to do in my head and I just sort of remember. First, let's talk about where to travel. Like, she to tell me where to travel to. Now, when I say where to travel, I'm essentially saying travel to places that are beneficial to you. This can go a lot of ways. Firstly, travel to places where it's easier to get visa. Now, it costs $300 for an international student who has a passport from somewhere in Africa, for instance. To get a United States visa, it will cost you $300. That's a lot. You don't have to go to the United States. You can go somewhere else. Now, I know for a fact that countries like Macau, Cambodia, Indonesia offer visa-free services to Indians. What I'm trying to say is travel to countries that are visa-free for the passport that you currently have. Now, I know for a fact that with a Nigerian passport, I can go to Barbados for free without a visa. I believe you can go to the Maldives without a visa. What I'm trying to say is pick where you want to travel. If it's visa-free, it saves you a couple $100. That's money you can put toward a flight. That's money you can put toward shopping. That's money you can put toward accommodation. That's money you can put toward a car rental. That's money you can put toward school. That's money you can put toward something else. Travel to a visa-free country. If you must flex for the gram, you know, and Barbados isn't such a bad place. It's actually a very nice place. I've seen pictures. It looks really dope. That's someplace I want to go. It's just that I want to go with the right people. Another tip on where to travel and talking about visa-free countries, a lot of countries will give you visa on arrival. Some of them will require a couple of dollars for solvency. I believe it's Mauritius that requires $100 for solvency for Nigerians and certain African countries, but I'm not entirely sure about that, so you can search that out. Another tip on where to travel, you don't really have to fly out of the country to travel. I mean, if you're in Canada or the United States or even Nigeria, anywhere you are, travel to a different city, explore a different. I'm sure there's things you can do in a different city in your country that you can't do in your city. There's things that other cities will have to offer that yours will never have to offer. I would never have thought that I would have the most fun in Alberta. This year I got lucky. A friend of mine invited me out there. Their family owns a house on a farm. She took care of me. It was such a blessing. I had so much fun. It's the most fun I've had in a long time, you know. So you don't always have to travel out of the country to travel. Now, another tip on where to travel is, how about you travel to a place where you know someone, where you actually know someone? I'm not going to sit here and speak for different cultures, but I'm going to speak for myself, not just my culture, because I don't represent a lot of different cultures. No, I represent myself in the way that I was brought up. If a friend hits me up and she's like, oh, yo, I'm coming to Toronto, you got plans for me? I'll be like, yes, boo. Like, you could even stay with me, you know? I know a lot of people that would offer you accommodation if they can. You know, don't go around asking people, can I stay with you? Can I stay with you? Unless you know how comfortable they are, unless you're certain of how comfortable they are. They may want to say yes, they may feel obligated to say yes, and it's not convenient for them. But majority of the time, if you want to visit someplace and you have a friend there and let the person know, then the person's gonna want to accommodate you. Even if they don't want you to stay at theirs, they would want to take you around the city. It saves you the money you would use for a tour that's that on where to travel, or when to travel. Now this when to travel is something I feel like all you guys probably already know, but one is avoid traveling during holidays, Christmas, New Year's, Easter, summer. Don't travel within Canada on Canada Day. Flights skyrocket on those days. Also, you want to go to somewhere hot in the winter and somewhere cold. Actually, if you don't like cold places, period, don't go. But if you want to go to somewhere like the Maldives and you live in somewhere like Canada or the United States, if you need to travel to someplace hot, why not plan the trip for some time when it's colder? One of the best times to travel to the Maldives or Mauritius is in September or October. I'm not saying because of the location, I'm saying because of the price of flights. Or you can travel in February, travel out of the country, then you get like cheap flights. So my trip to the UK last year cost me, I'm gonna check for the price, but it probably cost me $680 something to the UK. Return ticket, that's the same amount as my flight to Alberta. Flying to Alberta takes about 4 hours, but it costs me around the same price for the trip. What am I saying in essence? My flight to the UK, I booked that flight December of 2017 and I flew out at the end of April, you know, just when the seasons were about to change. Do you see what I'm saying? Those times when the seasons are about to change, they're usually the best times. Sometimes very few times, if you check for a flight at 12 a.m. or 12 to 2 a.m. you get like cheaper flights, but it's really not guaranteed. So essentially what I'm trying to say about when to travel is don't travel on Independence Days, don't travel on holidays, don't travel when everyone's traveling, don't travel where everyone is traveling. It's inexpensive to travel to a different place that people aren't traveling at the time when people are really traveling a lot. What I'm trying to say is migrate like the birds. They go somewhere warmer in the winter and they come back. I don't know, my hands are always talking while I talk. Now this third one, I'm sure that everyone has been waiting for, and this is transportation. Now under transportation, I'm gonna cover flights, where to book, agencies, platforms, sites, everything you need. Firstly, we're gonna start small and then move up to flights. Now if you're traveling within the country, your country, my country, whatever country, try to look for ride sharing. So essentially, I don't know if you guys know, ride sharing isn't like Uber. People post ads on certain websites or ride share apps and they want people to ride with them to a certain place and then they split gas or they pay them a certain amount. It's usually cheaper than taking a bus. Definitely cheaper than taking a flight. Another inexpensive option, not my favorite, is taking the bus. I've taken the bus before to Chicago. It was a long ride. One of my trips to Chicago was on the bus and holy I promised myself that I will never take the bus. Even if a flight is $1,500 to Chicago and I really had to go to Chicago, I would take that flight. I'm never taking a bus. It was, I don't know, for some weird reason to go to Chicago, it was 13 hours. A drive to Chicago probably takes around 7-8 hours, and that day the bus took, I was frustrated. I'm like, it's not worth it. $1,500, it is. You know, I'll pay $1,500 to go to Chicago. Actually, no, I won't, because if my family wants to see me that bad, they should come to Canada. If you love long road trips, shoot, go for it. But I personally don't love long road trips, so I would never take the bus for something that's more than 4 or 5 hours. I generally don't like long trips, like even flying too drunk. So now we're in flights. I already told you when to book, where to go. Now I'm gonna tell you how to book. Now there's certain sites that I personally scour when I'm looking for flights. And I know everybody already knows Expedia, you know, and they show you different websites on Expedia and they compare prices. I also check flighthop.com, cheapoair.com, priceline.com. I know they all have Canadian versions. I mostly use flighthop.com because I noticed that I find cheaper flights for me. I know for people in Nigeria, I don't remember what it's called right now, but I think there's this site called wakana.com. I don't know if it's as good as it used to be before. And then agencies. I know agencies are better when you want a package, like a tour, sightseeing, you know, so it's kind of better to use agencies when you want a package. That's when they're cheaper. But if you want to use them for just flights, you're better off going to aircanada.ca and booking your flight off there. Now, don't forget to scour all platforms for flights. I just listed a few: FlightHub, Priceline, CheapAware, Expedia. You know, there's a bunch of others out there. There's Hopper, there's Kayak, I don't remember this one, but if I do remember it, I'll put it on the screen. It was one of the sites that my friends gave me at one point when I was searching for flights. So I'll put it up on the screen if I do find it. If I don't, it will probably be in the description box. Like I said, I prefer to book my flights on FlightHub, but I prefer to do car rentals through Expedia. I also prefer to get hotels through Priceline.ca. Another way to save on flights is with your bank. You can get a credit card. Most banks offer it through credit cards. They have some version of air miles, not the actual company air miles, like just miles you gain for flight travel. Some credit cards accumulate air miles and then you can put that toward a trip. I know RBC has a card. I think TD does. Like I said before, this video isn't sponsored by any of these companies. 100% my opinion, my experience, and my research. Okay, now let's go to accommodation. I stated before that I like to book my accommodation on Priceline.ca. Now here's why. So Priceline offers this thing on their website. It's called express booking. Now essentially you can pick the type of hotel you want, either a 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, 4-star, or 5-star hotel, but you don't actually know the hotel, like you don't actually see it. They do offer ones that you see the hotels, but these express bookings are usually cheaper than those ones. So you pick, usually I pick a 4-star, 3 or 4-star, because if you pick 2-star, you're just shitting yourself. So I usually pick a 3 or 4-star. Majority of the time, the hotels that come through are 3.5 star and 4 stars. Like I just filter for 3 or 4-star, but then I pick between 3.5, 4-star hotels. It doesn't show you the name of the hotel. You can actually pick the area, the location you want. They generalize it. Like, so if you live in somewhere like Toronto, they would have North York, downtown. You know what I'm saying? You don't exactly see it until you actually pay for it. But if you pick a 3 or 4-star, you're definitely getting a good place. Like you're not getting anything shitty. You're not getting, I'm not gonna mention names, but you're not getting anything shitty. There are also home sharing sites or apps that you can use. There's VRBO, there's Airbnb. It depends. Sometimes it's cheaper to get an Airbnb depending on your taste. VRBO has, in my experience, has more bougie options. And that's it for accommodation. Now this last point is also about transportation, but it's about transportation within the country or the city you choose to travel to. Generally, I would say avoid taxes, because a lot of taxes in a lot of countries are known to scam people. They're conmen and they're scammers, and they are just dubious people. Unless you call and you get the license plate number for the taxi that's coming to get you, generally just avoid taxes. Try and be safe, people, because this world is a cold world. But a lot of countries also offer an Uber option. Now I say that with caution, because Uber, Lyft, and all these great ride-sharing apps, they do give you the option to see the person's license plate for the person that's coming to pick you up. When somebody comes to pick you up, no matter how drunk you are, it's turn up season, is summer, turn up to the max, but don't be drunk so much that you forget to look at the license plate. Like that's something that's very important. Just be safe out there. And that's how I'm gonna end this. So thank you guys for watching this video. If you really enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to subscribe, share, like, comment, whatever you guys want. See you in my next video.